sure. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much. But from the first lecture, I learned a lot. Even me, I feel there are many things we need to do to get our business where we want it to get to. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, everybody, for for saying you can hear me. So I'll just go right into it. But I want it to be very interactive. I know majority of us cannot talk, or majority of us we can just type. But at any point in time, if we get confused, or you have a question, or you just want to chip in something small or something, please, you can always send a message. I would read it and I would immediately give us the room to talk. But let's get right into it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to define the terms so that every one of us can understand why we're here. Because when I heard the topic as well, when she called me at first and she said, I want you to speak, and I said, oh, fine, because I actually did my master's. I have an MBA, but I specialized in customer service and hospitality. So I'm like a customer service expert. So majority of the time when I'm being called, it's to speak on customer service. Oh yeah, talk about customer service or share something you know about customer service. But when she gave me, I gave her a lot of topics. I think I gave her 10 topics. When she told me immediately, I sent her 10 topics. And she came back and said, branding and strategy of an entrepreneur. And it sounded very funny to me because I was like, branding and strategy of an entrepreneur. Which one should I take? Which one should I? But I just allowed the Holy Spirit to just direct me. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to define the times. And I'm very sorry, my slides, it's not even moving at all. That was what I was trying to work on before she she called me up because she told me I was going to go at 11:30. I was about to send her a message that my slides are misbehaving. But the first thing, what I'm going to do is anybody that is interested in having any of the slides, please, you can send a message to her. I will send it to you via email so that you can also have it and keep it for your use. But first, I would just like us to listen and run along with me. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is branding. A lot of us, when we hear branding, what comes to mind? The first thing that comes to our mind is logo. We think about logo. We think about, oh, what kind of, for instance, I'll be using a lot of Nigerian based brands so that we can relate to it. For example, when you go to Ojo Elegba, what do you see? You see all those paintings of the bosses in Lagos, Whiskey that sang about Ojo Elegba. When you see Chicken Republic, what do you see? When you see H Medic, so we just think about that as far as branding. But I'm here to tell us that branding goes way more than that. Branding is the way of identifying a business, truly. And that comes with logo, that comes with, but it's not the only way to identify a business. Your logo is not the only thing that speaks about you. You, the owner of the business, the person that started, you're a brand by yourself. While some people have made themselves brand, like when you're talking about the likes of Toke Makiwa, she's a brand on her own. Once you see her, like anybody that calls Toke Makiwa, you will know that she's a brand. Tiwa Savage, they are brands on their own. But at the same time, we that were doing business, you are a brand. The kind of service or product you're producing, it's a brand. It starts from the beginning to the end of your business. What do you want people to perceive when they hear a name? Like for instance, my event company is called Abake Events. Anybody that hears that name, you automatically know that I'm Yoruba. Because what's Abake? Abake is like Oriki, is like a name given to each child, each Yoruba child has that thing that your grandmother gives to you or your grandparents give to you. Even your parents can be the one to gift you. But whenever they want to praise your head to swell, they use that name. So it's the first thing that will come is, oh, she's a Yoruba person. And I'll just share a little bit, but one of the reasons why I did that is a lot of people always say when they call, you're an event planner, oh fine, Yoruba people know wedding very well. We are known for our O and Bears. That is what we are known for. So that name already, it's already a brand. So starting from your name, when they now meet you, how do you represent the brand? How are you portraying your brand to other people? Then we move to your slogan. Some of us are going to say, when you see, or when we go to our page, like there was a lady, I went to her page and I was speaking to, I wanted to do souvenir for my grandmother's burial last week. And she said, deliver within 24 hours. And that was what attracted me to go to her. So I went to her page. Lo and behold, in 2 days' time, this woman, she could not deliver. So what's your slogan? Then we go to your slogan. Then we go to your staff. Then we go to your customer service. It talks, branding is everything about your business from A to Z. So if you're the ones, if you're dealing with products, from the moment at which they are making the product, from the moment at which you're bringing out the product, oh, this is a product I'm about to bring out, it's going to be used for the face, it's meant to make it clear pimples. So from the time you're thinking about it, you should be thinking branding from that to the point of production, to the point of post-production, to the point of handling, to the point packaging, everything it's talking about. That's what your branding is. Then to the people that are selling, what do you want them to say about it? If there's one thing that we can say about, for instance, now Matchbox, nobody has ever, like one day I was sitting and I was thinking about it, that who actually makes Matchbox and how much. All of us just go, we just get it, we just know that there's a sort of Matchbox where we can light light up, and another one, people are coming up with new innovations now that you just be clicking on it and it will work for you. So branding is our total business. It's a promise to your customer. What are you promising them? If you're promising them that, okay, fine, if you use this product, it's going to work from you, it's all in your branding. What's the promise that you're making to them? All this matters a lot, but majority of us just get carried away. We spend so much money and so much time building our logo. We spend so much money and so much time designing our shop, making it beautiful. But if there's nothing, if
Yeah.
people come into your business, if people come into your store and there's nothing to get from it, your branding is poor. They're not going to come back. So branding is a promise to your customer. Then I will go to strategy. I'll just give us like the normal, when you hear strategy, what comes to your mind is a plan or a action designed to, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do to be able to achieve this at the long run? So for instance, I'm going to sell a product. What is the strategy you have in place to make profit? And that's why, because a lot of times when people start their business or they start their little thing, they invite, I have a team that we invite to come and talk about strategy. And we talk about strategy from the beginning to the end. From the moment at which you start your business to the point at which you make profit. So we talk about strategy. And then we also talk about
Can everyone hear the
that
host?
we invite. We are also under to examine customers and all that. So we do things like that. So it's what's the plan that you have. And the first thing, can we still hear me? The first thing that I know that I ask them is, what's your plan for this business? Because automatically, when everybody hears business, you are already thinking the plan this person has is to make profit. How are you sure? How are you sure? Sometimes some people just initiate business to help people. I've come across a man like that before. He didn't open his business as an NGO, as an NGO. And when I went and I said, please, what's your plan for this business? He said, I just want to bring in youths and empower them. I said, sir, open it as an NGO. He said, no. I just want where people can come, work, get the experience, and they go back empowered. I want to give to the society. So you also have to understand what's the plan for your business? What is that? So that way, if you know, okay, this is the plan I have for this business, what is the strategy I'm going to put in place? If your plan is to make profit, so what's the strategy I'm going to put in place? And then lastly, who is an entrepreneur? We all here we are entrepreneurs, I hope. But an entrepreneur is somebody that bears all the risk and enjoys all the benefits. That's what you are. You're a company on your own. So we bear all the risk and also we enjoy all the benefits. And I would tell you, and I'm sure majority of us have had our fair share of experience, it's not always been smooth. Some of us have had to learn from one business to another. You will smile if I tell you that I actually trained as a makeup artist from Tara. And that was what I started from before I found my way down to event management. And in fact, I didn't even get it myself. It was somebody that just looked at me and said, "You have this thing in you. Why don't you start?" I was actually training before I started even doing it myself. So it's when we put all this together. So what's branding and strategy? But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to teach us branding on its own. Then I'm going to give us a strategy to succeed as an entrepreneur. That's what I divided it into. After explaining explaining this to us, I've explained the terms. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about branding to us. Then I'm also going to tell us how to create a strong brand. And at the same time, I'm now going to tell us how to strategy to succeed as an entrepreneur. I hope there's time for us to do these things. So why I said is branding. I said branding is I think I've touched a lot on branding, but I will just buttress it. Is how your customers will recognize and experience your business. Branding does not only have to do with people that do products. Even us that we offer service, we do branding as well. Take for instance, as an event planner, if you enter the hall that I'm planning or that I planned for or that I do, there's one thing you're going to note about that hall. The first thing you're going to notice is you're going to see almost all my staff wearing the same shirts that has Abaka events and also their duty behind. That's a form of branding because that's how you would know the right people to go and meet. Apart from ushers, apart from servers, I always differentiate these three. My team is on their own dressing. Servers have their own dressing. Ushers have their own dressing, so that you meet the appropriate kind of person. All this, the way you give your service to people, it's your branding. The promise you have made to them when you're writing your slogans, and that's why I encourage, no matter what you're doing, have a business plan and have a business CV. What's your business plan? A lot of us that are just starting, or a lot of people that are in service, when I meet with them, I always ask them, where's your business plan? Because sometimes even us, we get carried away, we're executing our business and we are not even following the plan that we had. Because it's when you sit down and you're writing your business plan, you're going to know what to put as your vision and your mission. You're going to know what you're going to put as the things. What are your long-term goals? What are your short-term goals? All these things are going to be they're going to be in your business plan. So that when you're making business decisions or you're coming out with business ideas, you will know the ones that are in tune with your business and another one that is taking you totally out of your business line. So that you don't have yourself doing two different things or too much at a time. Then another thing I noticed is a lot of us don't even let our staff in on our plan. Do you carry your staff along? These are the people that are going to represent you. These are the people that understand what you want to do. Do your staffs, do they, like the other lady, the first trainer was saying, do they understand the plan that you have? Do they understand the mission and the vision that you have for the business? All these things matter a lot because if you have promised your customers good customer service and your staff is rude, you have not fulfilled that promise to that customer. And this goes to say in such a way that even the people you align your business with, the way I met her is because I gave her a job. The way I work as an event planner is as far as you are working with me, you are part of my brand. The decorator is part of my brand because I brought the team. So everybody on your team at that point is part of your brand. Do they understand? When you're doing event meeting, what are you telling them at the event meeting? When you're giving them the job, what are you making them know? Some people, once they meet with the event team or whatever they're working with, the first thing they tell them is, please, make sure that everything is in place. Make sure that you do your duties. So even the people that you relate with your business or you relate with your service, they have to be in tune because that's what makes up your brand. That's what makes up your brand. When somebody is referencing you, what do they reference you as? There was a lady that a client I just got for next month. She came to me and they said they call you mama vendors, that you know all the vendors in Abuja. And I was just smiling because you carefully select your team. That's what your branding is. And please, we should not joke with our branding. It starts from the beginning to the end of your business. And that is why we must take note of this in whatever we are doing, in our customer service, so in the way that we're attending to our customers, in the way that we're speaking to them, in the slogans that we're making, in everything that we're doing, in even the uniforms that you're giving your staff. How do you want them to perceive you? Because everything is talking about your business as much as they can look at. I will use a very good example for us, H-Medics. A lot of people throw to H-Medics because you know that if you're going to a pharmacy, a supermarket, now if it even has a step that has children's stores, children wears. So they just call it I call it the complete package. If you know that you just want to get household items, you want to get reasonable things, you're not going to the market to get food stuff, but every other thing, even food stuff, he has it now. Next was the proper place. I would have used that as an example before because it just had a supermarket and also a wholesale place. But H Medics is known. But another thing about H Medics that all of us don't, when you see that the leather bag that they bag all your things in, immediately you see H Medics on it, you will know it. It is strong, it's durable. Majority of some of the houses I've gone to, I've seen them using it as the bean bag when they run out of those black bean bags that they use. So that's another form of branding for him. So to the point that you're even going to your house, H Medics is reminding you that we're a supermarket, come back and use us with their leather bags. So all these things, it says a lot about our business, the way you do your packaging. I bought ofada rice yesterday from somebody, and the way the ofada rice arrived, I felt very important. I felt like they were serving me on a note because the packaging, everything was speaking about the brand, that I can still remember it. So whatever we are doing our branding, let us know. The major thing we're trying to achieve with branding is to make sure that our customers constantly remember. They constantly, when they think about, okay, if they're thinking about event planning, they should think about care events. So whatever you give to them from the beginning of your service to the end of your service is what is letting them know if they would always remember or if they would forget about your brand. So branding is very important, but it doesn't just have to do with the logos and the slogans. So now I'll get right into how we can build, how to create a strong brand. One of the first thing I would advise us is understand the business. A lot of times in Nigeria, a lot of us dabble in and dabble out of business. We're very quick to do it. Oh, Wix is selling. Bah, we have entered. I want to start selling wigs. Oh yeah, air. Okay, I can get air from Alibaba. Okay, fine. I'll bring it to Nigeria. I can ship air. Okay, I'll buy 3 or 4. Let me sell it. So maybe at the first time you buy the 3 or 4, you sell. I'll buy more now. Let me sell. Oh, this one is selling. We have dabbled into it again. Another one is selling. We have dabbled into it. But the first thing is understand the business. And not only understand the business, understand yourself. Am I good in product? Am I good in sales? Am I good in service? What's about me that can be incorporated into my business that will make it easy? We need to understand the business. Please don't let us just dabble in. Ask yourself the question, why do I want to do this business? Why am I getting into it? I said it earlier. What do I want to achieve at the long run of it? So that will allow you to build. That will allow you to build your business accordingly. Understand the market, understand the business, understand the client. That's one of the first things to do to build a strong brand. It will help you create all the questions that you have, your mission, your vision, everything. Once you understand the business, you can sit with yourself, you can talk about it. Another thing is in-depth. The second point I would like to do is in-depth research. Have you researched about this business? That will also help you to understand the business. A lot of times, we're doing our research, we just do it there are a lot of forums now to even do business or to do research. You can do the survey. You can even sit with somebody that has done it before or that has gone ahead. If you know anybody that is good in the market, you can ask questions. But we have to do our in-depth research to be able to understand the business better. And then you understand that whatever branding you're doing is telling the story about your business. So whatever kind of brand you're trying to build, what is it saying about you? What is it saying about your business? What is it saying? Everything is telling a story about your business. Everything is telling a story about your business. So to build a strong brand, let it be telling the story. For instance, there's Coca-Cola. The first slogan that they used that caught my eyes as a child was "Everywhere you go." So I was wondering, so even if I go to China now, I'll see Coca-Cola. Yes. Now that I've traveled wild and Coca-Cola is everywhere. It's everywhere you go for real. That was a promise they made and they fulfilled it. So we should do what? We should do an in-depth research on our business and make sure that the business is also telling a story. Maybe about how you started. It's telling your story about your business. It's not just about, okay, I'm going to build a slogan. Sometimes I even see some logos that does not even relate with what the business is doing. It doesn't relate at all. Sometimes I see maybe somebody that is selling, for instance, someone that is selling air. I will see like shapes and sizes in their logos. And the first thing I'm thinking is, oh, this person is an architect. Then by the time you go to the page, we are seeing air. And I'm like, wow, this doesn't relate. So whatever you're doing, make sure your branding is relative to your business. It relates to your business. Don't take it away. Immediately people see your brand, let them be able to, for instance, the right sign. Immediately you see it, what does it relate to Nike? You just think about Nike immediately that, oh, this Nike, this for the shoe. Immediately you see their brand sign. Another way to build a strong is make sure that your brand is unique and authentic. And this is what is going to bring me to the point of every business is meant to be solving a problem. So what's your own business? What's the problem your business is solving? Why do we have a lot of entrepreneurs in Nigeria? It's because sincerely, there are a lot of problems in this country and we need people to solve it. So what question is your business answering? What problem is your business solving to other people? Every business has a problem that it is solving. If yours doesn't have one, then we have to think. And that's where your uniqueness comes from. That's where your uniqueness comes from. A lot of people that started doing wigs, the problem they were solving is it's not everybody that has time to go to the salon every week to go and make their hair. Before, you will find that the salon was jam-packed, everybody had to go and make their hair. But now that we have wigs, you just find some people will come, steam, wash their hair, do the all back, and they go. They have about 3 or 5 weeks that can carry them for like 2 weeks for them to go, making it easy. That's a problem solving. So what's your own problem solving? What's your own business problem solving? That's another way to create a strong brand. And that's what will also differentiate you from your competitors. Immediately they know your business to be okay, fine. You are looking for personal shoppers too. The business came from a lot of times, not everybody has time to go to the market. You call your personal shopper, please, can you help me get this? Please, can you help me do this? And they do it for you. They mail it to your house. And you're how do the delivery bikes come about? It's not every time you can go and pick up your goods. It's not every time you can go and get food. You do a third party to get to a customer. So sometimes it's left for us to sit down. And I know there are sometimes, like I was talking to a man and I was telling him, sir, I don't think your business is not unique enough. It's not what are we trying to solve? What problem are we trying to solve? He said, everything has been solved. Sit down. Even in a market where you feel everything has been solved, I'm sorry to tell you, there's a question that's still not been answered. And that's where your research is going to help you answer that question. Please, do you want to say something, man? Oh, oh. That's where your in-depth research is going to allow you to find that out. They haven't answered all the questions. There's still a loophole in that business. There's still a loophole in that business. Somebody started pure water and found out that, hey, another person started bottled water because he found out that everybody is drinking pure water, but you will need to buy 3 or 4. Let me increase the size. Let me increase the size. And if I increase the size, it's going to help me, it's going to help people buy more, larger in size. That's it. That's it. There's still a question, even in that business think that you think a lot of people are into it, a lot of people are doing a lot, there will still be a unique selling point that you will bring that will change the market. And that's what I used to call, everywhere I go, I call it the disruptive technology. IT came and changed everything for us. Now we are meeting online. Before, we would have had to book a venue, would have all had to transport ourselves there, would have all have. So now, even some of us are in the office and we're watching and we're attending to this, we're listening to it, even while doing our job. IT. And that's why they call it disruptive technology, because it came and changed the form of everything for everybody. And that is what I want every one of us to think ourselves as. Think of yourself as somebody that is going to go into a sector, or is going to go into a business, or is going to go into a market and change the face of it. Not for bad, though, for good. And build your brand on trust and loyalty. And the only way you can build your brand on trust and loyalty, that's the only way to build it on trust and loyalty is to make sure that when people, what you've promised them, when they come, it is what they get. And sometimes they even get it much more than that. If either you're giving product, either you're giving service, these qualities I'm mentioning now are the things that are going to help you have a strong brand. And when you have a strong brand to yourself, that's when your business is going to succeed. That's when you can go back home and relax. Make sure that when they come, whatever you are telling them is what they are going to see. Whatever you're promising them is what they get. And at the end of the day, they are satisfied with what they get. They will not forget your brand in a hurry. And let me even say something. Sometimes it's not every time we get it right. She was giving you an example about how we started our business relationship. And she didn't get it right at that point. But what was your approach, even when you didn't get it right? What was your approach? Are you claiming right? Are you claiming, oh, no, please, we tried our best. She could have told me on that day, please, I tried my best. I used all the money to even buy flowers. I used all the money to do everything. What do you want from me again? Or rather, I'll come in and saying, you know what? This, I made a mistake. Next time, I wouldn't surcharge myself. I'll make sure I will not go with what the client is saying. Rather, I will go with what I know it is okay. Accepting our mistakes and learning from it is another way to build a strong brand, even when we don't get it right. Even when we don't get it right, even when we make mistakes, we can always correct them by accepting the mistakes we have made and by learning by it. Don't allow it to weigh you down. Don't allow it make you feel like, oh, I'm a failure. I can't do this. Maybe this is not my line. I'm going to change or go somewhere else. No, you can build a strong brand by accepting what you've done is wrong and changing it, not going again. Because if you don't accept you're wrong, you will do it to another customer again. That's the truth. It's what you have accepted that you will attempt to change. What you've not accepted, you cannot attempt to change it. So that's another way. These are strong ways. And please don't be scared to seek professional help. Do not be scared. That's another way to build your strong brand. Like I said earlier when I started, I said sometimes my team and I, we go out and we talk to business owners. We advise them on what to do. We help them even in setting up. Some people even tell you, can you help us in interviewing our staffs or anything? Please ask for professional help. I ask for help when I need it. That's why we're all here for one another. In fact, it's not that some people are lecturing and some people are listening. Majority of us are just talking about the experiences that we have. Some of us that are even listening to us now, you have better experiences than we have. But all this kind of gatherings is useful so that you know other business owners and you ask for help when you need it. If I have an event and it's more than what my capacity, maybe I have an event of 5,000 capacity, I'll call her, please, can we do this together? Invite people, learn from them. Don't be scared to seek professional help. It does not limit you. Because and when you seek the professional help, please be open to learn and think outside the box. When I say think outside the box, is think outside your own view. You that you're starting the business, you have a view about it, but you can sit with another person and they will open up another view for you. Please be open-minded. Don't be rigid because they've said, okay, yes, build your brand. Oh, yes, I'm going to build my brand. This is the way it's going to go. Nobody's going to change it. No, no. Keep it simple. Another point is keep it simple and relevant to the type of customers you're trying to attract. And that is when you're defining what your business is, when you're doing your brand, keep it simple and attractive to the market you want. Don't be the type that you are all over the place trying to please everybody. No. Face your market. Face what you want to do. And some people even find it hard. I had a medical artist talking to me and saying, I find it hard to face my market. And I said, why? She said, because everybody now, makeup now is the way customers want it now. Is the way I said, no, it's not. If you're the type that you go for simple, unique looks, your own is not loud. Face it. Your market will come to you. Those that like simple, unique looks, they will come to you. The loud ones will go to the loud ones. Don't be forced because you're in a market to be everywhere. Keep it simple and relevant to the market that you want. All this is going to help you build a strong brand. And lastly, please be consistent. I don't want to go to your page today. I'm seeing makeup. Tomorrow, I'm seeing dress. Another, like some people say on the slides of their page on Instagram, they started with makeup and that's what we know them for. Now, when you go up, this maybe the few first slides, you are seeing hair again. Hey, I'm selling hair. Oh, there are shoes again. You just be confused. Even food stuff. You just be confused about what exactly are they doing. Which one do they stand for? Which one don't they stand for? Please, quickly, I will rush into the strategy to succeed as an entrepreneur. One of them is, like I said before, identify there's a problem and that you are solving the problem. That's one way to succeed as an entrepreneur. You are the one that you're going to bear all the losses. You're the one that you're going to bear all the risk. You're the one that you're going to bear enjoy all the benefits. But at the same time, make sure that you're problem solving. You're not just starting a business just because you want to start it. You're not just starting a business because you feel like, hey, I just feel like I can do business now. Abba, no be to sell. Is it not just to talk to somebody to buy something and everything? Identify there's a problem and try to solve the problem. Number two, quickly, learn from prior work experience. Let's try to get experience in whatever we are doing. If you learn something, for instance, as a makeup artist, you learn to be a makeup artist. Before you even establish by yourself, do internship with somebody. Throw that free service and just say, please, I don't mind though, I'll just come and do some things for you. Let me just work with you for a while. And that's why for me, that was what even attracted me to learn with Tara. Immediately you're done with Tara, you're going to work in a month in a store. You're going to work in a store, professional working. In fact, that one is good because they will give you all the job, carving the eyebrow, everything you're going to be doing it. And you're going to work in because that gives you, when you have the experience or you work on something, you learn more. You will learn from the person you're offering service to. You will learn from the environment itself. So learn from prior experience. And also, when you even see somebody that is doing it before, have a chat with them. Let them tell you where they made mistakes. You don't need to make the same mistake another person has made. They made it so that you can learn from it. So learn from prior experience. Another one is develop a diverse set of skills. When the other lady was talking, she was like, she understands that majority of the time, as an entrepreneur, we are the accountant, we are the management, we are the one posting, we are the one. Whatever you can lay your hands on, whatever skill set that you can learn, please learn it. It will come in handy for you. Learn it. If you're not good in accounting, put yourself out there. What can I learn? okay, how can I balance to know that I'm making a profit? Or how do I make sure that my expenses are not overriding my profits? How do I reduce all these things? You can talk to an accountant and you can learn from them and build a strong team. The last speaker spoke about it, and I would reward it to us. Don't be sentimental in picking your team. Don't carry your family and put in your team thinking, they are my family now, they will have my back. Do they have the skills for it? If you open a shop, you put your sister inside the shop, does she have the skills to be a salesperson? Does she have the skills to talk to your customer? Does she have this right behavior? Because everything there, like I said, in your branding is representing you. So at that point in time, nobody's going to say that's your sister. They will say your staff. And maybe before you correct it, maybe 10 customers have gone already. How are you going to get them back? So make sure that you have a strong team. Everybody should understand what your business is about. They should understand it. It's not that now you are saying you're selling wholesale to customer and you're dealing with quantity and everything, and a customer is coming to get wholesale price, and your sales guy is looking that madam is selling this thing too cheap. I beg, no, I will add money. We will not make profit like this now. Let everybody, no matter what you are doing, even if it's crayfish that you are selling, let the people that are representing you, let them understand what your business stands for or what you are trying to achieve. Let them in on your business. Let them understand it. Build a strong team. Then remain curious. The market is changing every day. Things are changing. Please remain curious to your industry, whatever you're doing. Remain curious. How are they doing it in America? How are they doing it all over the world? What is changing in markets? For me, as an event planner, I don't joke with Lagos. So I'm telling you, sometimes I buy my tickets and I will travel to Lagos to attend a wedding just because I want to know what's the new thing that they have changed in Lagos. What's the new thing? The first time that I even started event management, you would not believe it was in Lagos. I found out that when you go for almost every Lagos wedding, oh, sorry, you find out that every time I go to every Lagos wedding, you will find their stage in the middle. That was what I started doing in Abuja. And now almost all the halls are putting their stage in the middle. What is changing in the market for your team? Make sure that you remain curious and you go and learn it. That's how you succeed as an entrepreneur. Don't be settled in your ways. Don't be settled in your ways. Make sure you are constantly curious to know. Put your face everywhere. Put your nose everywhere. In business, don't drink water and mind your business. Oh. No. Put your face in everybody's, learn from people, be curious. And lastly, please understand it's a process. Understand it is a process. You're not going to start today and start driving Benz tomorrow. You're going through a process. Understand it is a process and make sure that you're ready to go through the process from the beginning to the end. It's not always going to be fun, but enjoy the ride. There's a time that you would sit down, maybe when they are doing TED Talks or something, and you're invited to talk, and you'll be talking about this thing, and it will be funny and it will be funny and interesting. So understand and enjoy the ride. So this is where I'm going to stop. I hope I've been able to cover everything that I've wanted to cover. The first thing I wanted to talk about was branding. Make sure that your branding is just not your logo. You yourself, you're a brand wherever you go, however you talk. And lastly, please let me say, whenever you comment on social media, people are knowing that that's your business. So whatever comments that you will go and put on all those stars, some of us will use our business page to be abusing Iyabo Ojo. It's not done. What are you making them perceive your business as? Whatever, wherever you go, you are a brand. Let people ask about you and say, what do you do for a living? Just by seeing you. One day I went for vendors meeting and the way I was dressed, somebody came and met me and said, please, are you the bride? What are you doing? I said, I'm the event planner. Oh, so that means they've been seeing event planner. How do they see events? Is it that they wear jeans or they just dress casually or they just go there because you think it's just vendors you're talking to? Be professional everywhere you go. That's what your branding is. You are a brand. Everyone representing you, all your staff, everybody, they are your brand at the same time. And then when we're talking about strategy, I've given us strategy to succeed as an entrepreneur. I'm not going to give us strategy for our business because we are all doing different businesses. Just know that your strategy is what you're doing from beginning to end. Have your long and short term goals and make sure that you have the mind to succeed as an entrepreneur. If you don't have the mindset, all these things we're saying is just a theory on its own. So I don't know if anybody has any question, maybe in just like a minute or two, we can just round it up from here.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Miss Tucker. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. I really appreciate this. If anyone has any question, please can you kindly chat in the chat box or just unmute yourself and ask the question. I really appreciate this. I have notes on your session already. So thank you. Any questions? Someone says, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Praise Okuchi. Thank you. I've been seeing the chat as well. Thank you, Mitba. Right. So I think Mr. Temitope was as clear as possible. One of the things that she said was, you have to be professional everywhere you go. And I can remember my first vendors meeting with her. She came in high heels, and I was like, this lady is ready. And then the way she spoke, everything, her voice, her dressing, everything showed that she was ready to work. And so, the things that we even count as okay, just mundane, it's just there. People are looking out for it. However, the way you represent yourself and represent your brand is very important. Don't just say you're going to market, nobody will see me. Somebody can see you there. Someone can even ask you, sorry, what do you do? And maybe you're not dressed enough, you're not dressed well enough to even represent your brand. You'll be like, oh, sorry, I'll get back to you later. So we must always be professional everywhere we go. There is this saying, okay, a question has come in. So she said, I have a question. What if your staff are not full-time per se and they are on contract? How do you make them understand your vision and not have a clash of interest? Please answer that question.
Okay, thank you so much, Grace, for saying that. As an event planner, sincerely, that's more or less what we do. They don't, because everybody we're working with at a point in time, before you build your own kind of people, you work with different kind of people. But the truth is, how do you make them understand your vision and not have a clash of interest is whenever you're talking to somebody, there are just some ways that when you're talking, just like the day that I met her, I was talking to all other decorators before I was talking to her. There's a way you perceive somebody that is already in line with what you're trying to achieve. We straight to the point. There's a way you perceive. So when you're choosing your team, don't just choose your team based on maybe, okay, as an event planner, I need people now that are going to do ushering or they are going to represent my team, Abake events. And someone says, oh, my sister, she can walk. Oh, that's not it. Interview and speak to the person. Try to understand what they themselves stand for. Because you're not going to be using them for a long time, but for the short period of time that you're going to use them, they should also know, you should know what they stand for to see if it relates with what you stand for. And that's how you're not going to have a clash of interest. And please spell it out to them. Don't be shy in saying what you want. Don't manage. Don't manage. I find people doing this thing a lot. You feel like, okay, let's say the normal rate they pay salespeople is 10,000 or is 40,000 naira, and what you can afford is 25 or 30,000. Don't say because my money is small and let me just manage what I have. That before you know what's happening, that person will start dictating to you. No matter wherever you find yourself, please be crystal clear about what you stand for. Be crystal clear about it. Tell it to them. And if it's something that they can do, yes, let them do it. If it's something they cannot do, let it end immediately. You don't need to be like the last speaker said, don't bite around, don't try to manage. When it comes to business, you cannot manage, because if not, clients too will manage you. You will be getting the managing clients as well. Let people be clear on what you stand for. When you meet them, right now, I will not lie to you. In my decorators list, people that are associated with my brand, she's associated with my brand. I share my visions, even some things that I don't, that maybe I've not even done. I share it with her, because two of us have the same mindset when it comes to. She says it as it is, and that's how I am. I'm a very straightforward planner. If it can work, I will tell you. If it cannot work, I will tell you. If you feel you can go ahead and try it, then you try it outside. If it doesn't work, I don't say I told you. My mindset is, what can I do to solve the problem at the point in time? But at the same time, make it crystal clear. When people know that you're clear on what you stand for, I'm telling you, even before they come and meet you, somebody else will have told them, this woman know they take nonsense. So if you're going to meet her, make sure you're ready to work. So you just be clear about it and know what you want, know the interest that you're looking for. If you're clear about it, a lot of people are going to come to you. I hope that answered your question. Another person asked a question. The person said, please, ma'am, can I intern with you? I'm looking at starting event management. Yes, please, you can reach out to me on my page. Anytime I have anything going on, I tell as many people as want to come. But it's just that I do many meetings before we do events. You can ask you can ask Mrs. Faith very well. You will meet and meet. You'll be very tired, because we all have to just get it right. So I'm as open as a book. You can always reach out. Abake event is the page. I hope that's answered everybody's question.
Can we just send her a hug? Can we just do a chat and send her a smiley hug? I know that we have all been inspired one way or the other. So it's very good for us to tell her we love her and we really appreciate her time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. And I just want to say before you go that I came about this quote by myself from my experiences. And I said the best form of advertisement is the client in hand. The best form of advertisement is not Instagram, neither is it Facebook, neither is it broadcast. It is the client that you are currently holding. So if you fail at the client, if you fail the client in your hand, that's going to be on you, because that is your best form of advertisement. So I tell my staff as well, if we are going to do this job at all, we must do it well. It's on our group, on our WhatsApp, is there. I always say, if we must take this job, whether it's 50 kobo or it's 50,000 or it's 50 million, if we're taking this job at all, we must give the best. So if we took their 50 naira, we should get ready to add our own money to give them the best, because a client in hand is your best form of advertisement. And I learned that. And so also this thing of no refund policy, and sorry, please, I don't really know how we got here. But if a client is not satisfied, at least it shows a bit of empathy to say, ma, please, can I give you 20K, or from the money you gave me, I didn't satisfy you. That particular move that you have made, they may be angry, but you just douse down the fire. You understand? And so make sure by all means that client in hand is retained. Do you understand? Even if they gave you any amount of money, it wasn't good, and just try to give them, okay, what can I do? Can I give you a free event, or can I give you a free service, or 50% off? Please, I'm so sorry. But the thing we find now is that people don't even care. Not most people do. Some people will be like, oh, you gave me a hair. I sent a hair from Lagos. It's synthetic, but I thought and I bought it 35,000 or maybe whatever. And the person is bitter about it. The person is bitter about it. I didn't like the hair. What can you do about it? And you just mute her. You just feel like, okay, God will come from above and give you another client. Even God will not be happy with that. At least you show some empathy. Is there any way now we can resolve this? Okay, you think, and that's what we come to deep work already. Also, you think about it that, come on, what if my clients are not happy with me? Can I make, maybe I'm in Lagos, can I make centers maybe in Abuja, if they're not happy with the hairs, can they go there and exchange? Can they go there and check? Those are the kind of things we should, don't just bland the client. How much she pay me, sef? How much she pay me? What did she know? I beg. How many I
Sorry,
them
can I say,
they take? Eh?
the last time we had that business, you gave me 50 or was it 75% off
Yes.
on the next. I didn't even use it. I didn't
Yeah.
even use it because at that point I was very, very sure that no, this is not the way this person works. This just happened. Just from that encounter, I just knew that. And also to even brief you, the lady that you decorate, she just gave birth. She had a
Wow.
baby as well. She and
Wow.
they gave birth
Wow. Congratulations.
this, this
All
August
right.
as well.
Ah, August, my birthday. So we are really happy about this. And I can also, I remember also reaching out to the client and offering them a refund as well. And so if you don't satisfy, is one of the strategies. And I said the best form of advertisement on hand the best form of advertisement is the client in hand. So let us take that home. Thank you very much, Mr. Temitope, for your time. We are so amazed. Thank you so much. Alrighty, let's call in our next speaker. She is my personal nutritionist. Did you guys hear that? Anytime I have after events and I'm so drained, I call on her. She gives me. I love her branding. Everything about Gifts is just unique. And I'll just read her bio to you right now. Gift Awakesian is a registered nutritionist and an entrepreneur. She's the CEO of Eddie Wellness, a business that provides clients with personalized therapeutic meal plans as well as meals, smoothies, juices. Gifts of Eddie Wellness is passionate about helping people get the healthiest versions of themselves. Look at it. She's trying to solve a problem. She get helps people attain the healthiest version of themselves. She just so through the goods and services her business offers, also by writing educational articles on LinkedIn and through nutritional education at hospitals. Let's welcome Mrs. Gift Awakesian.